Welcome to Civil Engineering Institute. Today we are going to discuss about some numerical problems regarding the design of isolated footing. So here is the problem, that is design a square footing to carry a column load of 1100 kilonewton from a 400 mm square column. The bearing capacity of the soil is 100 kilonewton per mm square. Use M20 grade of concrete and AP 400 grade of steel. So all the required data regarding the design of isolated footing is given in my previous video. The link of my previous video is given in the description box. So let us solve. So all the steps can be watch out in my previous video. So I request all of you to watch my previous video and then come to this problem. Otherwise it may be difficult to understand this problem. So in the very first step, we need to determine the total load on the footing. The total load on the footing is the summation of self weight of the footing and the load coming from the column. The self weight of the footing is the 10% of the load coming from the column. So the column load here, it is 1100 kilonewton. So 10% of 1100 kilonewton is 110 kilonewton. So total load is equal to 110 kilonewton plus 1100 kilonewton, that is 1210 kilonewton. So after getting the total load on the footing, we have to determine the area of the footing. All of you know that force is equal to stress into area. So in order to find the area, we have to take the ratio of force to stress or pressure. This pressure is nothing but the soil bearing capacity. This soil bearing capacity can be find out with the help of various tests like plate load test, cone penetration test, and analytically we can also find the soil bearing capacity. So here in the given problem, soil bearing capacity is already given, that is 100 kilonewton per mm square. So dividing 1 to 10 with 100, the total value is 12.1 meter square. Actually here we need to correct this. This is not mm square, rather this is meter square. Please correct it. So the required area is 12.1 meter square. Since here it is given to design the square footing, we can calculate the sides of the footing by taking the square root of this area. So square root of this area is 3.478 meter. So let us provide 3.5 meter by 3.5 meter square footing. So the total area is 12.25 meter square. So after changing the value, we have got this. Now come to the next step. In the next step, we have to determine the net upward pressure which is exerted by the soil on the footing. Already I have discussed about the net upward pressure in my first video. So the net upward pressure can be find out by taking the ratio of ultimate load to the area of the footing. Here the load is given 1 to 10 kilonewton. So ultimate load can be calculated by multiplying the partial safety factor 1.5 with the total load, that is 1 to 10 kilonewton. So area is 12.25 meter square. So net upward pressure is 148.16 kilonewton per meter square. So in the next step, we have to determine the factored bending moment. The factored bending moment can be calculated by the formula given here. This formula is derived from the unsupported cantilever length of the footing. Already I have discussed about this in my first video. Here the critical section lies at the face of the column. So this portion behaves as a cantilever beam, and here the total load is uniformly distributed. 148.16 kilonewton per meter square load is distributed uniformly over this length. So this is the fixed support and this is the free end. So and total load is acting uniformly over this length. So the maximum bending moment for a cantilever beam at the fixed end under UDL is WL square by 2 or PL square by 2. So here total load is equal to stress into area, and the length is also calculated here. Already I have discussed about this in my first video. So bending moment here it is 622.92 kilonewton. Here the length is equal to B, that is per square footing, and D is the size of the column. Length is 3.5 meter. Now come to the next step. Now we have to determine the required effective depth. All of we know that MU limit is equal to 0.138 FCK BD square for Fe 400 grade steel. In the problem, the grade of the steel is given here, Fe 415. So the D can be calculated by taking the square root of this term. So required depth is 253.93 mm. All of we know that we have to increase the required depth from 1.75 to 2 times. We can take arbitrarily within this limit, 1.75 to 2 times. So let us increase the required depth up to 500 mm and provide an effective cover of 50 mm. So overall depth is 550 mm. Now we need to calculate the area of tension reinforcement. We know that MU is equal to 0.87 FOAST whole into D minus 0.42 XU. So from that, AST can be calculated by solving the quadratic equation. So AST is equal to 3604.62 mm square. In order to calculate the spacing in between the bars, we need to calculate the area of steel per meter. So per meter area of the steel is equal to 3604.5 divided by 3.5, that is equal to 1.1029.85 mm square. So let us provide 12 mm diameter of bars. So area of one bar is equal to pi by 4 into D square, that is 12 square. So here area of one bar is equal to 113.09 mm square. Actually here the calculation is not correct, I think. So this can be calculated, but procedure is same. Now AST is equal to 3604.62 mm square. So providing 12 mm dia bars, number of bars can be calculated by dividing the total area with the area of only one bar, that is 32.541 number of bars. So provide 33 number of bars. So clear distance in between the bars is equal to this. So clear distance can be checked. Clear distance is the this length to this length. That means here if this is a bar, this is a bar, so this distance is the clear distance. So the maximum distance should be 180 mm, and it should not less than 180 mm. If this happens, then crack may arise. So in between this we need to check. So how to check? Actually total length available is 3500. So from this we need to subtract the effective depth Okay, sorry, clear cover. So from the total length, that is 3500, we need to subtract this clear cover. Clear cover is equal to 50 mm. So again we need to subtract the diameter of this bar, half diameter of this bar and half diameter of this bar. So this half portion is the total diameter of bar is 12 mm. So half portion is 6. So 3500 minus 50 minus 50 minus 6 minus 6 divided by number of bars minus 1. Why here minus 1 is placed? All of you know that if 3 bar is placed, then clear distance between these 3 bars is, or space between 3 bars is 2. So for 33 number of bars, space is 32. That is why here it is written minus 1. So the clear distance between the bars is 105.875 mm, which is less than 180 mm. Hence it is okay, and crack will not arise. This check should be done in order to check whether crack will arise or not. Here you can see from this diagram, this is dowel bar, okay, and these are the distribution bars. Now spacing in between the reinforcement can be calculated by this formula, that is 1000 AST divided by AST, that is equal to 109.81 mm. So this is the maximum spacing in between the reinforcement. So provide 12 mm dia bars at the rate 100 mm center to center. Now we need to check for serviceability, that is we need to check for one way shear, we need to check for two way shear, and we need to check for development length. So check for one way shear. All of we know that the critical section for one way shear lies at a distance of d from the face of the column. So here we can calculate the shear force at this portion, shear force at the critical section, by using this formula. I have already discussed about this formula in my first video, so I request all of you to check my first video. Link is given in the description box. So by using this formula we can calculate the shear force, that is BU is equal to 155.57 kilonewton. So nominal shear stress tau V can be calculated by using this formula, that is BU by BT. So tau V is equal to 0.31 Newton per mm square. So tau C can be calculated by determining the percentage of steel. So percentage of steel is here 100 AST by BT, because all of we know that AST by percentage of steel is equal to AST by BT into 100. So percentage of steel is 0.2. From the table number 19 of IS 456 we can calculate the tau C value. Here in the table number 19 tau C value is not given. The tau C value for percentage of steel of 0.15% as well as per 0.25% is given, but for 0.2% tau C value is not given. So we need to interpolate in order to determine the value of tau C. So the tau C value is 0.32 Newton per mm square after the interpolation. So here the tau C value is less than, tau V value is less than tau C. What is the tau V value? That is मतलब जो shear force आता है एक्चुअली फुटिंग के ऊपर, जो shear stress एक्चुअली में आता है वो कंक्रीट का जो shear रेजिस्टिंग कैपेसिटी होता है उससे कम है. मतलब कंक्रीट के ऊपर स्ट्रेस आ रहा है 0 पॉइंट कितना, इतना टाउ भी का वैल्यू इधर आप देख सकते हैं. कंक्रीट के ऊपर स्ट्रेस कितना आ रहा है 0.31 न्यूटन पर mm स्क्वायर, बट its resisting capacity is 0.32 Newton per mm square, which is higher. That means concrete can resist this stress. so it is safe from one way shear. Now we have to check from two way shear. So this blue portion indicates the critical section for two way shear. The critical section lies at a distance of d by 2 from the face of the column. Here d by 2 and here also d by 2 from the face of the column. So we can calculate the shear force by determining the area of this blue portion and multiplying it with the net upward pressure. So the area of this blue portion is total area of this square minus the area of this white portion. So after getting the area, it can be multiplied with the net upward pressure in order to get the shear stress developed in this blue portion or critical section. So shear stress developed in this critical section is 1695 kilonewton. So after getting the shear force, we can calculate this shear stress tau v, which is equal to Vu by Bd. So tau v is here 0.941 Newton per mm square. मतलब 0.941 न्यूटन पर mm स्क्वायर पंचिंग शेयर मतलब shear stress आ रहा है कंक्रीट के ऊपर. बट इट्स रेजिस्टिंग कैपेसिटी इज एज पर IS 456 वी कैन कैलकुलेट द मैक्सिमम shear stress against the punching shear is 0.25 root over of FCK, which is nothing, is equal to 1.11 Newton per mm square, which is much more higher than the actually stress coming. That means actually stress coming on the footing is 0.941 Newton per mm square, but concrete resisting power is 1.11 Newton per mm square. That means concrete can resist this stress. So hence the design is safe from two-way shear. Here also you can calculate the perimeter, but no need to calculate, but this is not required here. Now we have to check for development length. So as I discussed in my previous video, the development length can be calculated by this formula, and for M20 grade concrete and Fe 415 grade steel, the development length calculated is 37.65. Phi is the diameter of the bar. So it can be rounded up to 45. So total development length required is 480 mm, but the development length available is 1550 mm. Actually the development length is the length from here to here. I am showing you. Development length is from here to here. Total this development length. So this distance should be calculated. So this is the available development length, and the required development length is 480 mm, but available development length is 1550. Actually we are neglecting this part, only we are calculating from this to this part. So here to here we are calculating. So total here to here, this is the available development length. This is the total available development length. So available development length is the total length minus length of the column divided by 2. This is equal to 1550 mm, which is much more higher than the required development length. So this is okay and all right. So detailing of the reinforcement is given. The number of bars, the number of distribution bars should be spread along the long span as well as along the short span. मतलब बोथ डायरेक्शन में हमको स्प्रेड करना पड़ेगा. इस डायरेक्शन में स्प्रेड करना पड़ेगा और इस डायरेक्शन में स्प्रेड करना पड़ेगा. The bars which are shown in the red is spread along this span, and which are shown in the blue is spread along this span. Okay, so detailing reinforcement can be shown here, and dowel bars can be provided. This is nothing but the anchorage of column bars in order to ट्रांसफ़र द लोड फ्रॉम द कॉलम टू द फुटिंग। जनरली ये मतलब लोड ट्रांसफ़र करने के लिए ही दिया जाता है कॉलम से फुटिंग को, ठीक है। और डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन बार्स फॉर्म्स ए मेश ओवर विच लोड ट्रांसफ़र कैन बी यूनिफॉर्म। So I hope you have understood the design of isolated footing or the various steps involved in the design of isolated footings. So इसमें अगर आपको कुछ डाउट है तो आप मुझे कमेंट बॉक्स में पूछ सकते हैं, अदरवाइज इट विल बी फाइन। सो थैंक यू।